We're live.
You
Hey, good
were,
morning. Good
hey, good
morning. Here
morning.
we are again, everyone.
Hey, good morning. Good
Okay.
morning.
Yeah, listen, we're really, really sorry. This first time we're trying this, we used some different technology. We used a Zoom technology, but it was in a different way. So we had a bit of a problem. But I wanted to let you all know what we started to say. This is the Mr. Claus House. This is a series that will be going on every Saturday, and you are looking at Santa's brother here. This is Lou Claus, and I'm Kathy Claus. Oh, actually, I got myself as Kathy Tarcuni. I should change that. Let me change that.
Yes, you should.
Yeah, I should edit my name to Kathy Claus. Yeah. Okay. So
Uh,
you are actually observing the behind the scenes of the show. We want to give you an idea of what it is going to be like and what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. Actually, not couple of weeks, couple of months. Every Saturday. We want your children to be able to come onto the show and they can't. Oh, somebody's commenting here. Who's here now? Okay. Good morning, Dale. Dale's watching.
oh, hey, Dale.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, Lou, explain what it is that we're doing, okay?
So, the Brother Claus Initiative means that to get everybody to embrace the spirit of uh, old Saint Nick in the way that he would was known for contributing, the way that he was kind, the way he was caring, the way he was grateful. And we want to embrace that spirit because what we found out through science is that we all have that ability in us, in our cells, to be able to cause the chemicals in our bodies that turns that happiness on, the joy on, when you are kind, caring, and grateful, that triggers those hormones to put you in a state of well-being. So for children to know that early on through the storybooks that are being written and to the programming where they can come on, there's a platform for them to not only tell us what is it they would like to have in their life happen, whether it's a birthday, whether it's a holiday, and then we could also interact and make them aware, simply aware, that if they are mindful to have a contributing mindset, then that will make their life the best it can be. And that's what we want to share. We want to be able to teach that and promote that idea that is actually scientific. And so this show here, this first one here, of course, I fumbled because I had been in a learning mode, and it's
Well,
not
that
so
that, hap- that happens to all of us, Lou. So
uh,
you don't want to
it's not
be,
so easy.
yeah,
So uh, so now the idea here is children would come here. They could share with us. Of course, I'll put on my cap just like you, Kathy, so I look more
yeah,
like old Saint Nick used to or Santa Claus used to. You know, why do we do things like this? This is the question. You know,
yeah,
why do people choose to do this? And I could only say that the best joy I have, the most fun I have today in my senior years, is the idea of contributing to others, making other people's lives the best they can be, and whether it's volunteering. Matter of fact, that reminds me that on this Wednesday, I'm going to be interviewing on the Living a Satisfying Life, the vice president of St. Mary's Hospitals for Children, and she manages she manages the volunteer part of the program. It is an institution that's been around for 100 years. It does wonderful things for children who are just not capable of taking care of themselves, and so I'm trying to help spread the word out there to get people who might be interested in understanding the value of contribution, making a difference to the betterment of someone else. And that act of doing that actually makes your body better, makes your wellness better as well. That's why you've been. That's why we think it's such an important message to let people know
Right.
out there. And
Right.
when you do it unconditionally, just from your heart, that's even better. It makes you really, really get into developing this mindset that when I get up in the morning, I can absolutely, I'm aware that I'm contributing to my body by the food I eat. And of course, sometimes I go to the cookies and I eat too many. I also am aware that
Yeah.
it's not doing the best it can for the things that are in my body. But you understand that at least you're in control
Right.
of
Yeah.
what the choices you make in your life, and that's an important element. And so we
Well,
want to teach
Lou,
children that.
we've got about 20 people watching the show
Is
now.
that
So
right? I'm so
yeah,
glad to hear that.
so that's good. And I just posted a link, folks, for any of you that have your children that are sitting there watching the show and they would like to be on the show and share with us a
Sure.
little bit about it's amazing when kids come on the show and they believe that they're talking to a brother and sister Claus. If you'd like to have that come on, is Nucci coming on? By
Is
any
Anthony?
chance, is Nucci coming on?
Well, I invited him. I invited Anthony. Anthony. Anthony's my grandson. You
Yeah.
know, 9-year-old grandson and his father. I invited both of them on to talk
Okay.
about the initiative, talk about his
Okay. Well,
dreams and his.
yeah. Oh, well, in the meantime, I thought maybe what we do is we'll show the website. How does that sound?
That's good. Yeah, I think that that's an important one. The front, up in the front there. There's an
There we.
animation of the Brother Claus world.
Yeah.
And one of the things about it that's important, we're trying to get all kinds of denominations, religions. We want to take the barriers away. We want to make this an inclusive thought, an inclusive initiative for everyone out there. It doesn't have to be. This is science more than anything to really teach the magnificence of how the universe has actually engineered how we can put ourselves in a state of well-being. So over here, the children are taught to see the world. How children are taught to see the world determines if their life will be happy, healthy, and wise. We are the living soul brothers of Sisters of Old Saint Nick. We take that on as a mission because we're all connected. What happened hundreds of years ago from the beginning of time, somehow in our 50 trillion cells that we have in our body, our DNA is flowing together, and you get a sense of this togetherness. That's what we are talking about. We take on the role of being the living soul brothers and sisters of Old Saint Nick. Whereas mission is to help children learn the science of kindness, caring, and gratitude. Here is the Meet the Claus on 12 p.m. We're trying to do this every Saturday and let the initiative grow. I really want to be able to talk to adults as well about taking the initiative out to their regional areas. There's making other people aware of how important it is for children to learn early on about the science of kindness, caring, and gratitude. Uh, we wrote a children's. I wrote a children's book, the first one that, by the
Oh, yeah.
way.
Let me go to it.
Well, no, straight down, straight
Oh,
down.
straight down. Okay.
Yeah, straight down. I want to just mention this over here. It's about making children the best they can be. You can children want a one-on-one with myself or Kathy Claus and hopefully other brothers and sisters that come on to do this, is be able to spend a little time. 5 minutes is so valuable in having an interaction with a child who can understand the love that's coming from parents. Some of them, most of them, our age, grandparents that have a real like the idea of chatting with a little boy or girl about the science. I here will you so you can book a time or date to do that on our website. This over here is the book that the best gift I ever got. This is a story about Anthony wanting a dog, desiring a dog for a long time. And of course, the what parents usually do, oh, I don't know about this. I got to take care of the dog. I know it's going to end up becoming mine. Considerations come up, and they usually either uh, have the book, not the book. They get the dog, and the dog is if it's with consideration, you
Hmm.
know, there's some moments of love and the nice and everything else, and then all of a sudden they go back to their considerations that they have instead of giving those considerations up. The purpose of the book is really to have children understand the science of kindness, caring, and gratitude when they do that, so that they know that when they're petting the dog, when they're taking care of the dog, when they're feeding the dog, when they're walking the dog, and it's their responsibility of having a life, to nurture a life. When they get the value of that, then what happens is they create great habits of responsibility, of how
Can
to
I
be
add something
responsible.
in? Can I add
Sure.
something into that? Well,
Good, good.
folks, one of the reasons we're doing this show now is right before Christmas. Although you might think this is a Christmas show, it's more than a Christmas show. But what happens every Christmas? The kids will say, "Oh, mom, oh, dad, I want a puppy. I want a puppy. I want a puppy." And the parents are thinking, "Well, okay, let's go and get a puppy." But what Lou is saying is, or I should say, Lou Claus, what he is saying is, you have to know what the responsibilities are for your child if they're going to bring a dog into the house. So this book helps to illustrate that. Having your child talk to either brother Claus or sister Claus about what it is that they really want, not only for Christmas but in life. Hopefully, we're going to stop you from getting a dog if you don't know what the responsibility is. So that
Yeah, the
was
big
just one.
concern, Kathy, because Kathy is so involved with the dog connection, is there are 1.5 million dogs euthanized every year. You know,
Right.
and it's a lot of it is because the parents and children don't take full responsibility of ownership of that
Hmm.
project. The project is birthing, growing an animal, a life into the best it can be. That
Right.
act of contribution, that act of kindness, that unselfish kindness, on that's the one that gets taught through the act of doing that. So in this book over here, his father realizes after seeing Brother Claus on the show about this, and gets him the book, brings him to the back of the book, which is a contract. And
In an agreement. That's so great. Yeah.
it's an agreement, and the agreement says, okay, you're going to take care of the dog, you're going to walk the dog, you're going to feed the dog, you're going to take responsibility for the dog. If he gets sick,
Show that page. Show that
mom
page
and
on the
dad will
book,
take
Lou.
mom and dad will take care of it. But again, this is early on, teaching children about their future, also about responsibility and keeping agreements.
Yeah. So
There
there
it
it
is.
is, right in the book, and your child is going to agree that they're going to take the dog out for a walk. They're going to nurture it. They're going to love it. They're going to be there. And there's something magical about when it's in writing. Even
Yeah,
if your child can't write their name, put an X there.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And this way they feel, that this is an important deal. This is not just about wishing and hoping, and getting, and that's it, and walking
Yeah.
away. You know,
Well,
here,
Lou, I'm sorry. We're on broadcasting on the Dog Connection show right now, so we might want to add in why it is important. What does the dog bring to the child in terms of nurturing and teaching, what the
well,
dog
that's,
does to teach the
yeah,
kindness and the gratitude.
yeah, well, that's it. I think the understanding that the act of kindness, caring, and gratitude to something is
Yeah.
important. Now, something in this case is an animal. It's a dog in this case, and to understand that gift that may last. My last one was 18 and a half years. Is an expression of who you are, how you feel, If you're angry, upset, the dog gets angry, upset. If you're kind and caring, the dog becomes loving and caring. You create the way these things work out, and we want to teach the children. So there you have a wonderful learning experience called your animal, your pet. And that's a learning experience about who you are. The way you teach, the way you give, it's the way you get. The way you care, the way you train, that's what you're going to get. So, and it's an expression of you. So all of a sudden, you'll see what a wonderful dog. People are constantly saying, "What a wonderful dog you have! It's such a great dog. It's
Right.
so
Yeah.
smart." That's because of you, on who you are about caring, being kind, and loving to that animal. So we just say it's better to want something, to desire something, but know that responsibilities in life. If it, the one rule that you must learn early is life works at the measure of how you keep your agreements. And if you do the right thing with animals and dogs, they'll be the best they can be, and that'll make you the best you can be. So it's a great
Well,
lesson.
and not only that, Lou, when we have an animal in our life, if we let somebody else take care of it, then you don't get the bond. And we like to see the bond go between the child and the dog. Because I know myself, growing up with a dog is a very, very important part of every kid's
Yep.
life.
Yep.
Every kid, you see movies on it, you see everything about how they all they Lassie, for God's sake. We all know Lassie, don't we? And we love the idea that here's this little boy and here's this little girl. I think there was one movie with Elizabeth Taylor with Lassie. Lassie Comes Home, I think it was. And the dog is always there. And if you ever look at the actual movie itself, you see the connection, the bond that's there. And this little girl and this little boy decided to take on the responsibility to taking care of the well-being of that dog. But what they don't realize is that the dog is actually taking care of them as well. So parents, you can always have a dog in your life, and you can have a book like that that Lou has written. But we have many, many more books that are coming out. But we're using the dog in this particular case because we want to show that there is the possibility and there is the reality that children can connect with a dog on a level that they don't with an average human being.
Sure.
There's some things that kids won't tell their parents, but they will tell someone else. And they will tell a dog. I know I did. I always told my dog all my secrets because I knew he wouldn't say anything or she wouldn't say anything.
Well,
So
the
that
idea the the idea that thing to that reflects back to us like a mirror does. You really, it's an important understanding. We want to teach children early on that power. I call it their superhero power. The ability
right.
to make a difference to others is a superpower. So, what else is that we want to talk about?
Well, let's go back to the website, okay?
Yeah,
I'd like to
sure.
do that. Let's go back to that because we started looking at here's the book.
The book is yeah, and just to let you know that we take a percentage of the book. We because we're a for-profit company, and we do that for a reason. A lot of people may ask, "Well, why aren't you a not-for-profit company?" Well, there is a reason where I come in, uh, to ask, how are you going to achieve your mission? Our mission is to reach 28 million children nationwide. We have to do that through education, with books, with interaction online like this, with interaction between brother Clauses and children personally, meetings at schools, going around, interacting with schools. I know that that's what I do in my neighborhood. I try to get public relations for it, for the idea to share it. Uh, but it is a beginning, and it is a starting point. And
Right.
we certainly are asking anyone that wants to participate early on like this to help us shape the way this initiative will actually work out. But when we're a public-private company and we're doing that, we could use advertising, and we could use funds that we get in to be to in a much more effective way. We're limited quite a bit when we have to do it in the context of 501c6 or C3 company.
Okay, so I also wanted to add in that one of the purposes of the show, we're not going to do it on this show, but you may have seen on YouTube people that are reading books to others, or you see audiobooks that come from Amazon and people upload the audiobooks to YouTube so you can listen to them. Well, we want to actually read to your child, and on the website, we actually have some books that have been read and want me to read your book. You could have Brother Claus do that and you could fill that out. And then he's also got, I think, didn't you have other ones in here too,
Yeah,
Lou?
you got
That,
to go up to the Mr. Claus house. That's
okay,
it.
Mr. Claus house there. And then he's
So
reading, but he,
this week's interview with Natalie, which we interviewed, a young lady who was 10 years old, and we had a wonderful little interview with her about what
you
you
want
want
to
for the
you want to
holiday.
watch it?
Well, it's a little bit long, but you could always
Okay.
anyone who wants to watch. But down here we have links to other people out there that have a similar uh, interest in having children learn all about the value and the power uh, of love,
Right.
one way or another, and that's what's there. So they can go down, they can see Deepak Chopra and a couple of other people who've reading books, and you
Okay, I'm
can.
posting it in the chat right now.
Okay, great.
Okay, so there's deep, yeah. So anything that has to do with reading books to children, you can actually come to this site and you'll be able to find out what books are really important and what will bring some kindness and caring to your child. You know you can always come here. Okay, so is that it for?
Oh yeah, you can do that if you go to meet or this eventually will be the gift shop. We hope that the revenue that we can generate will help grow the organization so that we can finance all the initiatives that we want. As I mentioned before, part of the money that we receive goes to uh, a charity that I have aligned with, which is Mary's Children Hospital. And there will be lots of other charities that we could do that with so that people can choose if they like. They could also choose to become if you go to the bottom of the page, Kathy, you can go all the way on the bottom of the page and you could see uh, join the Claus family. Uh,
that's what I
oh,
just
you were
did.
there? Okay, that's all right. So this is really a video about what it takes to do that, to become a brother and sister Claus. And we'll help you set up in your regional area, and you could participate. And um, we're
Be a
not.
brother or sister Claus too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's a great it also is a great opportunity for seniors.
yeah.
Seniors are many of them are saying, "Well, I'm bored. I'm retired. I want something to do." Wouldn't it be great to become a brother or sister Claus to
Sure,
children?
sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
and,
think
and,
so.
and by the way, the fact of the matter is, some brothers and sisters are able to make. They're not going to get rich, but they're able to make some extra money they may need. And
Right,
I see it that way as it grows, and we get a lot of people coming in. If they're listed on as one of the brothers and sister clauses on our website, and someone wants to come in and ask them to participate with them, then they'll receive a percentage of whatever the individual wants to pay.
okay, and this is how it works, folks.
Yeah,
If you, let's say you decided that you wanted to have a Zoom video with Brother Klaus, right now there's just the Lou and I, but we're inviting anyone that is interested. And then you just go and you book and you decide what day do you want to go and have your
it's
child.
a 5 minute call.
Yeah,
It might go a little bit longer, but that's okay. But and we charge 14.99, and you could just pay PayPal or whatever credit card you're used to doing.
right. And
And
it also includes the copy of the video so that they can
that's
share it
right.
with their family.
That's right. That becomes almost like a video card, and you could do that on your birth, on someone's birthday. They could be introduced
Right.
to
right.
us, and we could have a nice conversation about family and the things that they really like and want, and something to keep on as a nice. This is a really story about what we're doing, trying to grow the initiative. If somebody wants to see that. This is a poem I wrote the day I became Brother Claus. Uh, there I was in the store shopping when, my surprise, a young boy came hopping and posted a most unusual question to me. This is true, by the way. He looked up, not much older than 6, and asked, "Are you old Saint Nick?" With hopeful eyes, he then said, "You know that guy that could fly?" Me and my white beard and a bit of a round belly, it was only natural he confused me with that old jelly belly. With a twinkle in his eye, full of hope, he had found that magical guy. It was then that I felt my life calling grow. I looked down at him with a grin, a shake of my head, and playfully said, "No." The boy's head dropped, so I said with a smile, "I'm his soul brother, and Claus is my name." He smiled as he listened to what I had to say. I was just one of many of his brothers and sisters spreading joy each day. Though presents and toys fill us with glee, the secret to joy is actually free. It's simple, you see, and for everyone to know that caring for others makes our happiness grow. To make life the best it can be, let's be nice to each other, starting with you and me. With that, the young boy hugged me with pride. He turned to his mother and loudly exclaimed, "Wow, Santa's got a brother, and Claus is his name."
And Santa's got a sister too,
And
Sister
that's right.
Claus. Yeah,
And
and
sister.
we live at the Santa at Mr. Claus's house.
That's right. We're in
Yeah,
a totally virtual world.
yeah, yeah,
One of the things is the parents should be coming in here. It's one thing engaging us in different ways, but it'd be great to come in here. I like to tell jokes, and I love the kids to bring their own jokes to me, and also that have that interaction. That's a nice contribution.
yeah.
That I get to smile and laugh when someone tells me a nice joke. Uh,
Yeah, I would
and
encourage everybody to go and look at some of the videos that Lou did with the children already. And we originally wanted this show to start out with having some kids on the show, but it just didn't work out that way because of technical difficulties. But for the next show next week, we will have children on, and we will have them identifying to us what is important to them, and hopefully we can give them some insight.
Sure. That's
Okay.
the idea. Very good.
Okay,
So,
everyone. Thank you so much for watching the show, and we will see you next week. Bye.
bye bye.